Must-own players aren't always the best players. Sometimes it's the players that you can get at a fantastic ADP. Hey, what's going on, Headliner Nation? Welcome into another fantasy baseball show of the Fantasy Headliners. Thanks for checking out this episode. We're talking about some must-haves for fantasy baseball in 2019. And just keep in mind, I said it in the intro, and I've got a little asterisk there below these names. Must-have is based on their current ADP. So you talk about guys who are at the top of your draft, obviously the Betts, the Turners, the JD Martinez, whoever else, okay? You look at those guys and yeah, of course they're must-haves. They're the best players in baseball and fantasy baseball. You want to try and get your hands on them. But to me, a must-have is a guy that I can get at a really great price that's going to give me a really great return. And that's what these three guys are. So I've got three for you here that we're going to talk about this evening. Going to lay out their ADPs for you. Going to give you some more information why you should be targeting them on draft day. Before we get rolling, though, keep in mind, we like these quick-hitting videos, okay? We're going to get in and get out with this information. So if you have any other questions, if you want to leave some comments below, please feel more than welcome to do so. Like the video if you like what you hear tonight, and then of course if you're not already a member of Headliner Nation, please hit that subscribe button. If you're a new member of Headliner Nation after this video, let us know below so we can personally welcome you. Don't forget too, we're giving away a Trey Turner signed baseball right now. Head over to Twitter and we can tell you there exactly how and what you need to do to enter. So head over there too for a chance to get at that. All right, let's jump into these players now. And the first guy that I have listed here on the side of your screen, Paul DeJong from the St. Louis Cardinals, starting shortstop. Really excited to see this kid this year. His rookie season was fantastic, fell back a little bit last season, but he's got some reinforcements this year that help him out. His strong rookie season had a .285 batting average. It had 25 home runs and 26 doubles. We were hoping to see him improve on that a little bit last year. It just didn't happen. But one of the key suspects, his batting average of balls in play, it dropped all the way to .288, which was 61 points below 2017 and 29 points below the league average last year. He also lowered his strikeout percentage by 2.9%, and he raised his walk percentage by 2.7%. His line drive percentage was only down by 2% as well, so he was still making pretty hard contact. Last season, you can chalk up to a couple of different things. Number one, not a ton of help in that lineup. Okay, they did have some issues getting a lot of production, having some intimidating bats in that lineup, and that's why they went and got Paul Goldschmidt. The other reason that they had some issues, he had some issues last year, is just some bad luck. That happens from year to year sometimes. He should hit in the 2-hole. He's going to hit in front of Paul Goldschmidt. He's going to see more. He's going to see some really good pitches, more opportunities for runs, a lot of opportunities to see some fastballs, a lot of opportunities for extra base hits. Guys that are currently going ahead of him, though, include Elvis Andrus, Jurickson Profar, Tim Anderson. I don't know how you could spend a pick on these guys over Paul DeJong. And his rookie numbers, if he were to give you his rookie numbers plus a little bit extra this season just to grow a little bit more and start to produce a little bit better numbers, you're looking at a top 10 shortstop that you get all the way down at 193.3. That's awesome value. I don't know how you can pass that up. Moving on to our next guy, a familiar face, a familiar name, a former MVP, Andrew Mccutchen. And a lot of people might be writing Kutch off at this point. And let me tell you, don't do it. The guy isn't that old yet. He's only 32. So don't move on from him at this point. Only 1 year removed, so just 1 year ago, not last season, but the year before, 30 doubles, 28 home runs, a .271 batting average. The biggest issue that I saw with Andrew Mccutchen last season was just a higher K percentage. He just struck out a lot more. He had a career high K percentage of 21.3%, and his 8.7 home run to fly ball ratio was the lowest that it's been since 2013. His extra base hit percentage was also a career low at 7.8%. So he was swinging and missing more, and he just wasn't making that hard of contact as he did in the past. I don't think that necessarily means Mccutchen is washed up at this point. I just think that maybe he didn't have a whole lot of protection. He wasn't seeing normally as good pitches as he does. And then also, you know, moving out to that ballpark out there in San Francisco, it's not the easiest ballpark to hit home runs in either. I know guys like Barry Bonds made it look small, but Andrew McCutchen isn't that kind of a power hitter. Playing in Philadelphia, a little bit better of a ballpark, a little bit better hitter's ballpark. He's going to have an opportunity to get some of those home runs back, get some of those doubles back, some gap shots. He should be hitting in front of Bryce Harper if and when he signs. Again, this video is being done right now, unfortunately, without Harper signed, but it appears he's headed to Philadelphia. Something should be coming soon, but Harper could potentially be there. You have Rhys Hoskins at this point, and you also have JT Realmuto at this point too. 3 really good bats that could be right behind McCutchen. He might be hitting first in the order. We'll see. Either way, though, I like his value. I like him as a really good pick on draft day this year at his current ADP. And keep in mind too, when I talk about outfielders, I always like to grab my one stud outfielder, and then after that, I like to find value there. Let's head into our last player here real quick from the Cincinnati Reds, second baseman, Scooter Gennett. At his current ADP of 93.7. How this guy is going so low right now, I have absolutely no idea. But he has earned our respect as a top fantasy second baseman, and we need to start drafting him as such. Will that ADP rise a little bit between now and the start of the season? I don't know. We're getting into draft season right now. I would be surprised if it shot up too much higher, so you might get a pretty good value on him. He's one of the best second basemen all of fantasy baseball the last 2 years, and right now you can get him just inside the top 10. Excuse me. So you can get him as the second base 10, if you want to call it that. Since leaving Milwaukee, while he's been in Cincinnati, he's been great. 50 home runs, 189 RBIs, a 303 batting average in 2 seasons while there. It's a great ballpark to hit in. It's excellent for hitters, and not only that, but he's going to have some reinforcements in his lineup as well. So we talked about that with basically all 3 of these lineups tonight. These guys are going to have really good hitters hitting behind them, which is awesome. With the Cincinnati Reds, you do have Yasiel Puig that's there now. You have Matt Kemp as well. Joey Votto, if he can rebound from last year and put together a much better season, that's even better for Gennett. So his ratio statistics too, just to keep in mind, if you look at some ratio statistics, it's pretty average from where he's been in his career so far. It's not like all of a sudden something crazy happened where his batting average of balls in play skyrocketed. Nothing leads me to believe that the last 2 years have been lucky. I think we're going to see a pretty similar season this year from him. So I think you need to buy in at this point. Don't spend another year going, is he really what we think he is? Yes, he is. Let's go for it at this point. 93.7 is too low. We need to bump him up a little bit. So these are 3 guys that I am targeting on draft day. Again, keep in mind that these are based on ADP. Great ADP makes for great value. Great value makes for great seasons. So keep an eye on these 3 guys. Check them out on draft day. If you can get a hold of them, that is awesome. Thanks so much for tuning in to another episode here of the Fantasy Headliners. I'm Kyle Richardson. Make sure you follow me on Twitter at krich1532. Again, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so yet, and let us know so we can welcome you to Headliner Nation. And again, use the comment section below if you've got questions, if you want me to expand on anything, if there's players that you are targeting as must-haves. Leave those in the comments below. We're one of the most interactive sports channels here on YouTube. We'll get back to you right away. Thanks again. Thanks so much for tuning into this episode. Really appreciate it. Check out the rest of the episodes we have coming out, and we'll catch you on the next one.